So your AI agents are getting smarter, evolving on their own. It's incredible, right? But what happens when the auditors show up? How do you actually prove that those agents are safe and compliant? Well, that's exactly the challenge we're tackling today.
It all boils down to this. When an auditor comes knocking, you can't just say, trust us anymore. That's not going to fly. You need to show them the receipts, a clear, rock-solid, unbroken chain of evidence. And that's what we're going to break down.
And just so you know, we're basing this whole breakdown on a really powerful framework from Nir Cohen's 2025 paper, Genetic Prompt Engineering plus Context Engineering, a genome-style architecture for safe, self-evolving AI agents.
Let's be real for a second. AI development moves at the speed of light. But governance, risk, and compliance audits, they are an inevitable reality. And for a lot of teams, that feels like hitting a brick wall.
So this is the million-dollar question for every technical leader and governance professional out there. How do you build in provable trust from day one and turn compliance from a total roadblock into a genuine asset?
The solution lies in creating what you can call a governance evidence map. Honestly, you should think of this as the Rosetta Stone for AI compliance. It translates those abstract, high-level policy controls into concrete, machine-readable artifacts that your development process generates automatically.
Okay, this table right here, this is the key to the whole thing. This is how your engineering work starts speaking the language of compliance. For instance, your immutable Prime Directives, those map directly to governance controls in the NIST AI risk management framework and leadership principles in ISO 42001. Those strict output schemas you use, that's your evidence for provider duties under the EU AI Act. And your reproducibility logs, they can generate signed manifests using standards like C2PA, providing tamper-proof content credentials that acts like a digital nutrition label for your AI's work. This is how you build a provable case for trust.
All right, let's dive in. The very first place an auditor is going to look for proof is in the agent's blueprint. It's DNA, if you will, before it ever even runs.
So picture it. The auditor is sitting across from you, and their first question is a real doozy. Your agents can self-evolve. How do you ensure they don't evolve away from your core safety principles?
Your answer is the Prime Directive block. These are your non-negotiable rules for safety and ethics. And the crucial part is, they are inherited verbatim by every child agent. And a cryptographic hash verifies their integrity. If that hash doesn't match, the agent fails to spawn. It's a fail-closed safety gate that prevents that genetic drift away from your core principles. The auditor's next question really gets to the heart of operational risk. Okay, fine, it has its principles, but how do you control its actions? How do you stop it from calling the wrong API or generating non-compliant content? The answer is the Sanctioned Action JSON schema. Now, this isn't a suggestion, it is a strict machine-readable contract. It explicitly defines every single permitted output format and tool call. If the agent tries to generate something that doesn't validate against this schema, it's blocked, period. No unapproved actions can get through. So that's the blueprint. But you know as well as I do that design time proof is only half the story. Auditors need to see the forensic trail from a live run. Now the auditor turns to security. Prompt injection is a huge threat. An attacker tries to hijack your agent. Show me the proof that you identified and blocked that threat. This is where the immune gene comes in. It's a resilience layer that functions kind of like a firewall for the agent's input. It uses deny and allow patterns to spot and block malicious prompts, like attempts to override instructions or exfiltrate data. It's a key part of a defense-in-depth strategy, and every single block action is logged as evidence. Finally, the auditor asks about what happens when things go wrong. Look, incidents happen. If you have one, how do you trace exactly what happened, which version of the agent was responsible, and how do you roll it back? Your evidence here is the lineage and signed manifests. The system maintains a complete cryptographically linked chain of every agent's genome from parent to child. Every single run, every artifact generated is logged. These manifests can even be signed, creating tamper-proof credentials that provide an absolutely unimpeachable audit trail of provenance. So let's put it all together. Imagine the audit is happening right now. They pick a single transaction out of millions, and they want answers immediately. The auditor points to a log file. This agent just executed a tool call. I want to see, right now, the precise chain of evidence that proves this action was permitted, compliant, and safe. Instantly, you pull up the first piece of evidence, the context contract for that specific run. It shows the agent was given a narrow, explicit set of permissions. It could only access certain tools and data scopes, just for that one task.
Next, you show them the sanctioned action schema that was in force. You prove that the agent's output, the tool call it made, perfectly matched the pre-approved machine-readable format. The action was compliant by design. And for the final piece of the puzzle, you show them that timestamps logs from the immune gene and the execution run. This proves that no malicious inputs were detected and no internal safety policies were violated during the entire process. The query is resolved in seconds, not weeks.
So the crucial point is that this isn't just theory. This is a practical, engineering-led approach to governance. So let's distill it down into a checklist you can actually use.
This checklist right here is your practical guide to being audit-ready. It represents the complete chain of evidence, from the agent's core principles to the final signed manifest of its work. By systematically collecting these artifacts, you move from hoping you're compliant to proving it on demand. Ultimately, the future of AI isn't just about what it can do, it's about what you can prove it did safely. Having this traceable chain of evidence is what elevates a powerful tool into an enterprise-ready asset. To get started building your own, you can download the complete governance checklist.